Hey everyone, happy summer solstice. It is almost the end of June and I am just finishing my May wrap up. It is what it is. It's been a couple months, so we're getting there. I only had 9 books in May read. I haven't been reading very much lately, to give you the truth. I think I only read like 2 or 3 books so far in the month of June. It's not going great. But I have 9 for May. I can't promise I remember all the stuff, but I'm going to go through them, give you my stars. I either liked them or didn't at the time, and I'll give you as much of a summary as I can. I don't know. It'll be what it is. So I guess the first one I finished in May on the 3rd was The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese, maybe. I listened to this one. It is super long. Like, I think 30 hours or something. Yeah, 31 hours and 16 minutes. It was a chunker. But it was really good. It's like one of those multi-generational family sagas. It takes place in India, and I would say it's like a magical realism type thing, because this family that it centers around has this covenant with water where somebody of every generation dies in water. So they drown, or they like choke on water, or they like are swimming, or they like fall into water and die, but people die and they can't be in water. Like if you dump water over their head, they'll start choking and dying. They'll drown in like 4 inches of water. And so it's kind of this woman who marries into the family. It's her wish that she could cure this family of the, I don't know, they call it a disease or something, or affliction, or I don't know, something like that. It's interesting. It also kind of centers around a little bit off. This branch of Catholicism. I think it must be true. I don't really know. But it might have been St. Thomas. I don't know. One of the disciples, according to the story, I don't know if it's real or not, went to India long time ago, and so there's been this group of followers who are like a handful of families that all intermarry and are all very Catholic. And so it kind of follows their storyline, and also then it ties in, since it's multi-generational. There's like so many different storylines, but it all makes sense when you listen to it or read it. It ties in an Irish doctor that comes to, I don't know, maybe it's English. I feel like it's Irish though, I don't know. Who comes to India and gets tied in with the family as well. So it's a big story, it's an epic, but it was good. I liked it. I gave it a 4.75, I guess. The Hacienda, I listened to as well, by Isabel Cañas. This one is a kind of horror, maybe, like a gothic horror based in Mexico. This woman marries into this rich family. She's excited. She's gonna be like a wealthy woman of the house. She comes from, I think her father died, but her family's looked down upon. Her mother is from a low class standing, and then she wins over her husband. She's now the woman of the house, but the house is like haunted, cursed, whatever. So, you know, it wasn't too scary, honestly. I'm a baby. It was like creepy vibes, and especially I feel like when I listen to things, I don't get as creeped out because I'm not like in the story, I'm like doing stuff too. So I like that one. 3.75. The Wings Upon Her Back, which I have a separate video on this one. I gave it a 5-star. It was so good. Maybe I'll try and like it. I don't know if I know how to do that, but I'm gonna give it a try. This woman, it's a story of emotional abuse and putting your faith in the wrong person, and how she overcomes the things that she's went through. She joined in her world, there are 5 gods that came to her world a long time ago. And the humans broke into 5 different sects, and then they each worship a different god. and her family was from the like scholarly god, I don't really quite remember all the names of them now, but from the scholar god sect. And then when she was like 12, she decided to switch over to the Mecha sect, which is like the mechanical warrior sect. And so she switched over, and she had to completely like swear off her family and give her entire life and body and emotions and everything to the Mecha sect. And then as she gets older, she starts to question it and try and figure out if she made the right choice or not. Because all of these sects are starting to go to war together and trying to decide who is right and who is wrong in this whole godly war. So it was really good. Loved it. But I think it was a new release. I think it just came out in like April. Slit Throat Saga 2 by Tashelle Combs. I don't think this one was out yet, quite yet. I got it as an ARC. It was like an ebook that I read. But the Slit Throat Saga, the gist is, I think it was blurbed as like a Divergent type of book. This girl has, I don't remember what they're called, but like they don't have normal blood, they have clear blood, and then they can suck in metals, and use those metals to do different things, and those people have been targeted and killed off, and so she's living like in secret trying to hide it into her society. She lives in this walled civilization. Nobody can leave, and then, you know, shit hit the fan, and things go crazy, and there's more people than she thought that were these metal people. Metas? Yeah. Yeah, something like that. But it becomes this whole, like, wide scope story once she breaks out. It's pretty early on when she breaks out. That's not, like, a big secret. And I don't know, I'm explaining this terribly. I'm so sorry. But I gave it a 3.75. It was good. It was an easy read. It's nothing like, it's not a new favorite or anything, but it was entertaining. That was book 1, by the way. This was book 2 that I just finished. Well, just finished in May. I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. I read this one for book club, which I didn't go to, but I read it. I gave it a 3.25. It was good. It wasn't my thing. It's like a YA story about a Mexican daughter, Mexican girl. I think she's not a girl though. If I remember right, she's a senior in high school, I think. But her sister died in a bus crash a while ago, and her sister was the one that her parents loved more, and so she's like trying to find a new identity, trying to find a place in life. Her parents are getting super protective of her because their other daughter died, and she's trying to find her own individuality and the gist of everything, while still trying to cope with the death of her sister, who she wasn't close to, but like it's her sister and she died, so it was good. Wicked Cruel Things, I gave it 2.75. By Emma Lynn Ellis. I honestly don't remember anything about this. I read it on my Kindle. It goes free. Sorry. It's bad. An Inconvenient Wife I got as a Once Upon a Book Club box. It was interesting. I actually liked how they did a lot. It's a retelling of it's called An Inconvenient Wife, A Modern Tudor Mystery by Karen E. Olsen. And it is the retelling of the Tudors, so like Henry VIII, I think it is. Like King Henry of England and all of his wives. Like Anne Boleyn and all them, you know? Catherine of whatever it is. Catherine of Aragon. I have another book about her down there. She was like the original wife. And then, so the way that she wrote it, she kind of made it into modern times. But the husband, he marries all these different wives. So like there was the original one that he was married to a long time and was like his equal and super powerful and stuff. And then he divorced her. So like this is the same thing that happened to his real wife. He divorced her, and then the second one, Anne Boleyn, was beheaded, and that is, it's like these all have happened in the past. The story takes place during the last wife's marriage. So the second wife beheaded, and like actually in the story they find a dead body with no head. And then the third wife is the one that he actually loved, which is like what they say about the wives in real life too. And she died in childbirth right after giving birth to a son. And then the fourth wife he married because it made sense, like business-wise, at least in this story. I mean, it's not in like the Tudors, but he married this woman because he wanted to inherit. The woman inherited her father's newspaper business, and he wanted to take over. So they had like a marriage, but she's actually gay, and so they got divorced like 6 months later or something like that. And then the next wife was a young like supermodel superstar, and they got married just because he thought she was beautiful and like beguiling and everything. And then she actually cheated on him, and then they got divorced. And then the last wife was his assistant, and they fell in love, and now she's the last one who stayed with him and stuff. And so it kind of like parallels the real Tudors, and it's a murder mystery as well, because people keep dying on his property, women keep dying, and they're trying to figure out if it's the wives or if they're other women. The first woman that died was found on a property of his. They could never, the genetics or whatever, could never be proven that it was the wife that went missing, the second wife. And then another female is found, and that one, they're trying to see if it's another wife or another random female, but he has a lot of money, so they're like, he's paying people off to disprove it. So it was good. It was entertaining. They were 3.5. I mean, it was like nothing amazing, but it was entertaining. The Secret Book of Flora Lee. So I listened to it. I gave it a 3. It wasn't my thing. It was a World War II story. World War I? I don't know. The one where in Great Britain, the families of London sent their children to the countryside to keep them safe. I think it was true, but I'm terrible at keeping those two straight. But it was fine. I didn't love it. I think other people who love the romantic war stories will like it. When the Moon Hatched was really, really good. I didn't rate it on here, but I would give it probably like a 4.75. It was so good. There was a few parts that it was like overly long in my opinion. It's really long, 718 pages. It didn't need to be quite that long, but it was very entertaining. They blurb it as, what is it, like Game of Thrones meets Fourth Wing. And it was very entertaining. It's a girl who's like half possessed by some other demon entity or something. And she sometimes like just goes ballistic and kills everything. But she doesn't remember anything past like a few years ago. She doesn't know who she was growing up and anything. And then she's an assassin now. She works for this group of assassins, and that's how she makes her living. So she's not against killing people. And then all of a sudden things go sideways. She recognizes this one guy and feels like a connection to him, but she doesn't know him. And then she is caught and is put to death, but that guy saves her, and now she's trying to figure out who she was in the past. And there's dragons and magic and romance and all that jazz. So, you know, it's a book talk book. It's popular now, but it's on Kindle Unlimited is where I read it. It was good, by Sarah Parker. Oh, and that is apparently it. So this is a quick video, 15 minutes. Woo, go me. I think caffeine's kicking in. But yeah, I am gonna have a really short June one, really short, because I think I'll have like 3 books. I've been listening to the last book in the Daughter of No Words series. I don't remember what the series is called, but I forgot. I got sidetracked and never finished the 3rd book, and now I'm just loving it. So hopefully I'll finish that maybe today or tomorrow, and then I'll have maybe 4 books for the month of June. do my stats. So my moods, I read 9 books for 4,000 pages. Mostly emotional and dark, sometimes mysterious. Pace was all medium. Page number was mostly 300 to 499. All fiction. 4 books were fantasy, 3 books historical, 2 romance and literary, and then a bunch of ones. Mostly audio, almost half, 44%, and then digital and print were lower. So my average rating was a 3.83 now that I put in the 4.75 for When the Moon Hatched. So yeah, that's my May month. See you next time, guys.